Is it weird we just made eye contact right there? Mindset hacks for playing better golf. You ever want to absolutely crumble a 45-year-old successful business person? Make them crumble right to their knees. Give them a 3-foot putt on the 18th hole that means something. The bet's on the line. The game is on the line. The match is on the line. Now, there's some people who succeed in those moments. They are the minority, not the majority. And the majority will crumble. I mean, depends if it's got a low break or whatever. But at the end of the day, most people don't have it going up top enough to be able to handle that situation. This is a pretty deep topic to unpack, but I want you to leave here today with a better understanding of how to navigate your way around the golf course using the skills you have today to shoot better scores, make better decisions, and handle those moments better. Let's start by taking a look at some of the best players to do their thing ever. Michael Jordan shooting a free throw. Kobe Bryant shooting a free throw. LeBron James shooting a free throw. The greatest NFL kicker, NFL kicker to play in the NFL. I don't know who that is, but think about that. Barry Bonds about to hit his however manyth home run. Think about all these players. They all have one thing in common, and that is a pre-shot routine. There's more to it, but at the core of performance is we want to put our mind at ease to perform. And the pre-shot routine is something that is essential in making that happen. Basically, when you have a pre-shot routine, when you have something that you do every single time you show up, you're priming your brain's subconscious to perform. You're putting your mind at ease instead of at tension because you're going through the motion that you are so used to. It's so important. It's just very low-key important. To take away from this, what you should start developing is a pre-shot routine. Before every shot that you want to play or take seriously, go through the same routine. Try to make it like clockwork. That's not just going to happen. It's going to take you some reps. It's going to take you some time. But eventually one day you're going to wake up and it's just going to start happening because it's what you've built into your habits, and your habits are building you into the player you're about to become. Your pre-shot routine is priming the pump for performance. All right? Now, tension is inevitable on the golf course. You're going to come under some tension no matter who you are, where you're at, or what time you're playing. You're going to play with new people in your group. You're going to be playing in a tournament. You're going to be playing for your best round ever. All of these situations are inevitable, and you have to be able to handle them. How we handle that is basically by bridging the gap between tension and performance. Having layers of practice where we add more tension is kind of the key to succeeding in this area. You want to practice on the range with a purpose. By practicing with a purpose, you're making your practice more game-like. You want to play games on the course that add layers of tension. Maybe that's a bet with your friend. Maybe that is a new tournament. Maybe that's giving yourself a personal challenge to work through. You want to layer in these new layers of tension so we learn how to navigate those waters. Because essentially we're navigating those waters in a more controlled environment before one day it just shows up in an uncontrolled environment. You're playing in a tournament. Like I said, all those things I mentioned earlier, that could happen to you anytime. Playing for your best round could happen tomorrow. And if you don't know how to navigate tension in golf, you're more likely going to crumble than succeed. And I've watched it happen 1,000 times. Players just don't handle it because they haven't been in that situation. Now, you're kind of going to fall to your highest level of practice. That's a really good way to put it. If you haven't practiced at a high level, you're going to fall to what you know how to do. Or maybe you just haven't been in that situation. It's good. And that's where learning golf can kind of be like layers of an onion, is because we're always layering in some new tension or layering in a new situation or learning to succeed in a new environment. Now, having your pre-shot routine is something that's going to help you succeed in these environments. Practicing under pressure is something that's going to help you succeed in these environments. And then just understanding the situation you're in. And if you're to take nothing else out of this podcast, or really most of the things you've listened to me preach or rant about, this is the one you want to take away. In golf, all you can do is hit the shot at hand. Okay, so your last shot doesn't matter. Your next shot doesn't matter. It is the ultimate exercise in learning to be present for one moment. And you don't have to be present for minutes on end. You just have to step into your pre-shot routine, step up to your shot, visualize success, and try to make it happen. That's 15 to 30 seconds. It's not that much. But learning to be locked in for that 15 to 30 seconds is a real skill and art in golf. Being present for that singular golf shot is, like I mentioned, it's just a skill. It's a big deal. It's something that the great players have learned to do through time and repetition and maybe good guidance. And it's something that many amateurs aren't doing. The emotional attachment to your last golf shot or your next golf shot is kind of a hard water to navigate, because players that are highly emotional, there are players like that play well. You've seen them, and they'll typically have peaks and valleys to their performance. If you're a highly emotional player, you have to do your best to detach yourself from the last golf shot, step into the next golf shot, and be focused on the shot at hand. If you can learn to be not emotionally attached to your last golf shot or your next golf shot, in my opinion, I think you've got a higher chance of making it more consistently and playing consistently at a higher level more often. And you see this in two different player styles, especially at the on the LPGA and PGA. You see it. Players that play with a lot of emotion, and then some players are just calm, steady, and focused. Being calm, steady, and focused tends to have a little less instability to the way you score the golf ball. But that's kind of a personality thing, and you can't necessarily change your stripes. What you can do, though, is you can learn to manage your style and take your style to make the most out of it. Particularly if you're an emotional player, it's okay to ride some positive emotion. Oh, I hit my last shot great. Going into the next shot with a lot of confidence. Where we want to have a short memory is if we're hitting it poor or shitty. We have to really learn to let that go and move forward on to the next shot. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about visualizing success and what that means in golf. It's important. Affirmations are important. So basically, you don't want a lot of the negative self-talk. You don't want to tell yourself, you don't want to be thinking about hitting it in the water. You want to be thinking about what your shot looks like if you do it well. That can be part of your pre-shot routine. Stand behind your ball, pick out the shot shape that you like. Imagine what it would look like in your head. Think about that and let it burn into your brain. Imagine what it would look like if you made the swing that you intended to make and that ball went just where you would like it to go. All right, we want to be thinking positively. Your thoughts become your actions, and that's especially true in golf. If a player's talking about the water, thinking about the water, odds say they're going to hit it in the water, and it's going to happen more often than it's not. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about today is kind of difficult to do if you haven't experienced some version of success. So if you haven't got to that point that you've experienced some version of success, often it's because your technique is so poor that you're not really hitting golf shots. And because of that, you haven't really experienced what it feels like to hit a good shot or two or three. So that's why in the early learning curve, it's so important that you develop decent, respectable technique. Learn how to hit a golf shot. Learn how to hit the middle of the club face. Learn how to take a divot in front of the golf ball. Learn how to hit the middle of the club face with your driver. Learn how to swing up with your driver and hit the middle of the club face. That stuff is very, very important in that early learning curve. Learn how to work the ball left, work the ball right. And then as you progress with the game, your mental side becomes more and more important. Your technique will always be important, but if you want to really carry with this game and grow with it and go to a place that not many people make it to, high level, scratch, maybe high level tournament player, maybe you want to play or aspire to play on some kind of tour, you really have to have it going on up top. And especially if you want to make it in the long haul and not kind of have the bang and boom success that might not carry with you very far. Couple takeaways, and we can dive in more on this in the future. Let me know what questions you have or what you thought about today's podcast. I really enjoy this side of golf. I think it's fun. I don't think it's talked about enough. And I think it's a very important part of learning and growing with the game. So let me know what you think about it. But takeaways, we want to have a pre-shot routine. We want to layer tension into our practice. We want to be present for our golf shot. We want to visualize success. Those are things that really can make a difference in your day-to-day success and your ability to perform under pressure. Pressure in golf can be tough, and I see a lot of people that don't handle it very well. So when the pressure comes, remember, visualize success, give yourself positive affirmations, rely on your pre-shot routine to keep you present in the moment, and focus on just that. Enjoy it, because those pressure kind of moments are the moments that we work for, and they don't show up all the time. So you have to learn how to handle and manage those situations. And the more often you're in them, the better you'll manage them. Anyway, I'm going to sign off today. It's been a fun podcast. Let me know what you thought of it. Leave this thing a review, and I will catch you back here same time, same place next week.